Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to Gav Goes In. So we're going to carry on our greats of the game, and we're going to talk about a player. I mean, this will be a good debate, to be fair, because when we talk of African players, I think a lot of people mention Didier Drogba. A lot of people mention Yaya Toure, Samuel Eto'o, JJ Okocha. But could this player be arguably, obviously Mo Salah, Riyad Mahrez as well in there. But could this player be arguably the best of them all? And for me personally, I think in terms of what he done in his period, like he was unstoppable, and I think people forget as well. This is a player that's a Ballon d'Or winner. I think people forget about this, yeah? And he was that good, again, when I was watching Italian football, he was a breath of fresh air because he was something that the league really never saw before. And I'm talking about Liberia's George Weah. Now, George Weah, man, I mean, this is a guy, yeah, that was relatively unknown, yeah? And when he came to Italy, like at AC Milan, listen, he was devastating. Pace, skill, dribbling, clinical finishing, strength. As I said, he was something different to what the league had saw, and he was literally a devastating striker, man. And again, played for Liberia national team. Obviously, Liberia were one of the lesser nations, but obviously George Weah was their star player. But in terms of them getting to a World Cup and stuff like that, winning the AFCON, again, was never really realistic because he was the only star really. But what a player he was. And for AC Milan, like we're gonna go through the numbers and the achievements in a minute. But for what I saw, back in the day, Go Lazio, Italian football. Listen, that was my era, man, watching Go Lazio, Italian football. If anyone knows, man, Italian football was the league to watch. They had literally all the best players in that league. Like, it was ridiculous, Even guys that people don't even know, the likes of Giuseppe Signori from Lazio. Like, about Signori, man, what a player he was, left-footed. There was just so many bad boys in that league, yeah. It was just enjoyable to watch. The Batistuters, the Rui Costas, the Enrico Chiesas, Zvonimir Boban, Shevchenko, like Totti, like it was ridiculous, man. Del Piero. The list is endless. That league was that good at that time, yeah. Back in the early 90s, it was the league to watch. Every Saturday morning, I believe at 10 o'clock, Channel 4, Go Lazio, never to be missed, man. And George Weah was literally, he was like one of the limelights of watching that league. He was that good. And what I would say, yeah, is I look at this era of football now, and there's not a George Weah out there, man. Just isn't. And the reason I keep talking talking this way is because I like to compare a lot of the players I see now and seeing if there's any kind of reminiscent in the players of the past, because these players now are overhyped. And when we see players like George Weah, that doesn't get half as much coverage as what a lot of these players get, this is the level, So let's go through his numbers anyway. So again, George Weah played in Italy. He played in France, and he played in obviously England as well. So obviously Monaco, 149 appearances, 66 goals. PSG, 138 appearances, 55 goals. AC Milan, 147 appearances, 58 goals. Chelsea, 15 appearances, 5 goals. But again, that was at the end. Man City, people forget he was at Man City. 9 appearances, 4 goals. Marseille, 20 appearances, 5 goals. And obviously for Liberia International, 75 appearances and 18 goals. Yeah. And again, like, if anyone's been watching me, I'm doing a all-time 11 of the best clubs in Europe. Obviously we're doing the Premier League at the moment. But when we get onto PSG, yeah, I'm telling you now, I forget some of the players they've had. To think that George Weah was at PSG, listen, picking that team is going to be difficult, but this is why I enjoy doing it. So yeah, make sure you guys tune into that, every week. We've done Premier League teams. We've done Man United, Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, done Chelsea yesterday. And obviously we've got one more in Tottenham. And then obviously we're going to move to La Liga. So, yeah, make sure you guys tune in. Team accolades for George Weah. So 1 Coupe de France, 1 Liga, 2 Serie A's with AC Milan, 1 FA Cup. And then individual, as I said before, the 1 Ballon d'Or that he won, 1 World Player of the Year as well, 3 African Player of the Years, and 1 Champions League top scorer. And as I said, George Weah is another player, yeah, that if you just go and watch clips of George Weah, you know, again, it might be before some people's time, but if you just go and watch some of the clips of George Weah, you would just see how good he was, man. He was devastating. A devastating striker. As I said, he was a striker that there wasn't too many strikers like him in the game at the time. You know, and what he did for AC Milan, notably, is what won him the Ballon d'Or. Because that's where he won the Ballon d'Or with AC Milan for what he was doing. You know, he was arguably the best striker in the league at the time. He was devastating, you know, and that was evidenced by him winning the Ballon d'Or, of course. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think of George Weah. Is he the best African player of all time? The best African striker of all time? Or do you think the likes of Drogba, Samuel Eto'o hold that accolade? Because I think George Weah is a massive shout, man. And, you know, I think if anyone did watch George Weah, you'll see, as I said, you'll just see how good he was. You know, could score off both feet. You know, he was technical, was quick, strong, you know, skillful, good dribbler. Like, he had everything, you know what I mean? Change of pace was devastating. So, yeah, let me know what you think of George Weah. Let me know in the comments if you think that, you know, he'll be by far the best striker in this era of football. Make sure you're smashing the like button. Make sure you sub to the channel if you're new in here as well. And, yeah, let me know, guys, if there's any other players that you'd like to see me discuss as well. As I said, check out the playlist because there's a lot of players on there that I've discussed already. Greats in the game. As I said, yeah, let me know what you think. And as I say, yeah, I'll catch you guys for the next one. Take it easy.